Okay, welcome back. What we're going to look at now is putting on this sail here at the back, which is called spanker. And we're also going to put on these sails here, which are jibs, or sometimes called staysails. I'm not going to get too much into the semantics of the different names of sails because, yeah, there's a lot of technical detail in these. Okay, the biggest problem you'll have, or I've had so far, is with these. When you're putting these on, it's very easy to get the angles because it's a bit of a guess. It's not don't really line up well. So sometimes the sail will fit. So I have a different camera angle here, so hopefully we'll see it better. It's sometimes it's hard to get it so the dimensions are just right for it. And this time, whilst I was using a different boat to measure up the sails, it's going to be no good because they're going to be different than this one. So if I take this other one, which hasn't been prepped yet, you can see that it's at much more of an angle here. So that's going to cause me problems down the road. Right, so what you want to do is you want to give a bend as per normal with your pencil in, but then you want to but you want to measure up against it. So I can see here that this corner of the sail here and this bottom sail are fine, where they don't line up perfectly on the other side. So I'm going to just give a little bend, push it in here like that, and hopefully that'll line that up better. Yep, and then I'm going to pop some glue on them. These sails here, the inner, the outer jib, these are more of a sail that would have been used to help turn the boat. The problem with these square rig sails, more modern boats use what's called a Bermuda rig, which is more the triangular sails that we're more familiar with. The problem with these ones is, yes, they catch the wind behind them brilliantly, but then when they're tacking, they're quite hard to, they don't maximize the wind. And these would actually be turned right over at an angle. They could nearly be 90 degrees over compared to the direction of the ship when you're sailing into the wind. That also means when the boat is tacking, when it's changing course into the wind, it's going to have to, these are very slow, and if it's not done very well, they could end up losing the wind. They lose momentum, and then what happens is the boat has to come around the long way around, which is painful if you're just sailing, but disastrous if you're in a battle situation. So these jibs at the front would have helped the boat to turn, tack easier, and obviously developed more into them. And that's why we have them now. They're much more efficient. So you have names of them, just for a technical one. The bit where it's joined on to, whether it be a mast or a halyard or whatever, this bit here is called the luft. And at the bottom of it is the tack, and the top is the head. The opposite one, where it's not joined to the mast or to a halyard, is the clew. Anyway, that's all we need to know about that. Now, on the you'll see on the pictures of the boats, these would have been joined onto different halyards to give more control over them. So the rigging is more just a representation of the boat. So we're going to put this one on it now. So try and turn this so you can see me messing it up all over the place. So that's going to go on here just like that. So I'm going to put a bead of glue, camera onto it. Again, if you're not using the dark sails, you're going to need to be careful of the shadow on the top or the bottom. Whereas these ones, because as we said in the last video, they're printed incorrectly, it's not so much of a worry. So we're going to put a bead of glue along the bottom. Less is more, as they say. And a bead of glue along, and that's, I don't know if you can see, it's just gone onto my work surface. So quickly try and rescue this before we end up gluing it completely to everything. And tissue paper, high absorbing tissue paper is a great kind of paper for picking up the super glue excess. And I just change this angle the other way, and you can see my congealed ball. Move that out of the way. Turn her around. Don't go fiddling with this. If you get it on first time, great, and then don't mess around with it because they are a disaster. You'll end up with glue on everything. So Just get a good approximation. Okay, that's good, that's good. So we'll just leave that dry. Then I can see already here it's not making good contact, but let's try, and once that's dry, do another little bit of it. While it's over, like that, laying down, I am going to put these jibs onto it. So again, which way is it going to wind is going to be hitting the light. So you want to try and make the shadow in the right place. So I'm going to bend. So this one is going to go from here to there. And actually, you can sometimes it's easier depending on which one you're doing, whether to start from the top or the bottom one. I'm actually going to go. I'm actually going to work from the bottom up. Now, it's going to be. I know this one here is going to be a bit of a well, not problem child, but when it goes on, it's not going to have a halyard underneath to hold the clue on. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to try and use the other ones to position it better. I'm going to have to come in from this side and put a bit of glue on it. There. So I'm going to be holding it by the shorter corner. Again, you can put a bit of bend in these if you want to. Oh, a little bit of glue. Come in from it, sorry, I've got to move this out of shot there. So I'm going to come in from this side and position it on here. And I have to hold that. That's okay. Don't worry about that. It's going to flap down because it hasn't got any other of these stay wires to hold the clue. But that's okay. We're going to be using the other ones to hold it, and it'll sort of lift it up. While that's going off, I just want to talk about something else that's coming up. This angle my camera here. This little brig, Spanish brig that I've done here, is I'm going to do a tutorial on the rigging of this one, because this was done. You can see I have some of the masts on already. This rigging was done in my fastest yet rigging technique, and it's just one thread. So we start at one point. Thread is about a meter long. We come up about 30 centimeters, and we tie it off here, and we use one of the ropes, one of the bit of the thread to run as these lines up and down, and then back and forward, and then we use the other longer bit to run across from the knot here down, bang, 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 bang. And because it's just one piece of thread, the reason that speeds up is you're not cutting, knotting, making off, cutting, knotting, gluing, making off. You're able to go much quicker because you have to go run, 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 dab, 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 glue, cross, cross, cross. So I am going to, I'm going to sail that one up. And the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a little tutorial using that technique on this other brig. Okay, so this other one here now should be a bit more ready for putting on the next sail. So you should be using the smaller one on the bottom and the next biggest one at the top. So that's going to go across here, and we'll line that on there like that. So that'll go up nicely, and then the other one is going to go across the top of it. So let's give a little bit of a curve. So the luft is the bit that's going to be on the halyard, so that's going to be its tightest, and the clue is going to be away from it. So we're going to bend it that way and pop her down. Hold her up there. I'm not gluing. There's no glue gone on the clue, the bit that's going to be away from. Sorry, I'm looking for my super glue yet, because we're able to position these and move these around a little bit. Stick a glue on it. Come in from this side. A little bit awkward here with that camera because I don't want to obscure the view for you. As I say, they're doing exactly that. And trying to not obscure the view, I end up dropping the sail. Right, I'm going to turn this around here. I need to get it on. As you can see, I changed the camera position from the last set of videos, primarily because I was trying to work around it and was making life a bit easy. It was making life awkward for me, so I am going to so I decided to go at that. So I'm going to put the last one on here again, bending away. The longest side is going to be the one that we're gluing. Put her down there. Again, I'm only putting the glue along here. And we're just going to gently drop her down like that. Now, in reality, these corners that I haven't glued yet, instead they're called a glue, they would have a line halyard coming through them so they could control them as well, because otherwise they'd just flop around in the wind. So the other thing we need to just do now is we need to get her up like that, and we're going to use, I'm going to put a bit of glue under here, and that's going to hold that one in place. But before I do that, I'm going to want to make sure these are nice and dry so that they can hold the weight of them. It should be like that. And that's job complete. So all I'm going to do now is a bit of glue under here, hold it till it goes off, and then I'm going to do that one there, a bit of glue. So without further ado, a bit of glue. I'm not sure if I got any glue on that, to be honest. Let's see. This should take. Once you get it anyway holding, we can come back to it. Yeah, she's holding there now. And then I'm going to put some glue under this last one. Very dangerous, me waving around glue like that. It could go everywhere. I'm just going to try and pop her up. And there we go. Come back in focus. You can see this one's flopping around a bit, so I just need to put a little bit of glue under the back of that just to hold her on there. So you can see it easier from here, just on this side there. Yeah, she's taking that nicely now. Isn't that class? So there you go. That is a Spanish, I wouldn't say brig, frigate. Put on the rigging, the way I do the rigging, and sails. And the only thing left to do now is to just go around, check all the corners, make sure everything is glued down. These last ones we've done, and then there's nothing, and touch up. Obviously the glue, sometimes the super glue will damage the paint that you've done, so to gently go in and finish off that painting. Okay, thanks for watching.